What's up, y'all? It's your boy eBay Predictions. You already know what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about that Colby Covington versus Tyron Woodley fight night card, UFC Vegas. I think 11. I think now that's where we're at, man. I'm so hyped for this card. This card is so stacked. This is like a damn near pay per view, bro. And you already know how we do it. We talk from the prelims all the way up to the main event, and we start off the card. Actually, I don't know if this is gonna how the card layout is gonna be. You guys know I give you guys those early fucking predictions, and this I'm just going off of Tapology. So if I end up being wrong, I end up being wrong. But I have timestamps. I always have them. So just letting y'all know that right now. But we start off from what I'm seeing. Jordan Espinoza versus David Dork or Dorak, or if that's how you say the guy's name. Jordan comes in at 15-7, fights out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, age 30, height 5'6", reached to 69. David, I'm just gonna say David. 18-3. Fights out of Czech Republic. I think that's how you say it. Age 28, height 5'5", and a reach of 68. In terms of recent wins, Jordan Espinoza is coming off a recent win over Mark De La Rosa. David is coming off a recent win over Bruno Silva. In terms of recent losses, Jordan Espinoza's most recent losses to Alex Perez. I mean, no shame in that. That guy's like ranked number 5 now. Beat Juicio for Miguel, has been looking amazing lately. David's most recent loss was to Philip Mack in 2012. Did some research on this kid, David, man. The kid's fucking... He's a scrapper, man. He's one hell of a right hand. He knocks fools out. I like Jordan Espinoza. He's a fucking athletic wrestler. He's very creative in there. But I think he takes the L today. I like Jordan Espinoza, dude, man. I like the way he fights, man. He's really entertaining to watch. But I think he takes the L. I don't think he gets knocked out. I think it's probably by decision. These guys are bantamweights. Bantamweights usually, you got to be really special, I feel like, to get like first round finishes. You know what I'm saying? So David could get a first round knockout, but I see a decision for David. Next fight, Miguel Biza versus Mickey Gall. Miguel comes in 9-0, fights out of Florida, height 6'2", reach of 74. Mickey 6'3", fights out of Greenbrook, New Jersey, height 6'2". So they got the same height, and they have the same reach of 74. In terms of recent wins, for Miguel Biza, he's coming off a KO of Matt Brown, and Mickey Gall's most recent one was a Salim Tahuru. In terms of recent losses, we only got one from Mickey. It's Mike Perry. Miguel Biza's never lost. He's undefeated. This is a hard fight for me. I don't hate Mickey. I know a lot of people don't like him. I just feel bad for him. His come up, it's just, man, he's learning on the road. You know what I'm saying? And I can see the improvements, and he's working hard, but I wanted him to take a whole year off after that Mike Perry loss. He didn't lose bad. He actually looked pretty good in the first round, but you have to understand that's a degraded version of Mike Perry. And I'm not even talking about damage that he's sustained. Mike Perry that fought Vicente Luque was a top 15 guy. The Mike Perry that fought Mickey Gall was a fucking brawler. It looked like he had no boxing background. It looked like, he wasn't an amateur boxer ever in his career, which Mike Perry is. He was winging shots with no respect. The only good thing he did in that fight was, I guess, his grappling. I'll give him that. That got better. But everything in that fucking fight was garbage. Like, he was hitting punches like that. If you ever saw the video with him and his girlfriend was holding pads, he was hitting punches like that. I thought it was cap. I thought it was a joke at first that he was gonna, like, that him hitting pads like that, but it was not. Obviously, her drilling those punches with him has affected the way he fights, and he's just not the same guy. And Mickey Gall looked good against him in the first round against a degraded Mike Perry, but he ended up losing the fucking fight and got mounted in that fight and got just out-muscled, really. There was no technique that, like, I know how good Mike Perry is with a decent coach and a decent camp. I don't care what the fuck he says about oh, I don't need this, I don't need that. No, you didn't prove no one wrong, bro. I feel like he proved me. He made me like I picked him to win, and I expected that guy that fought Vicente Luque to be back, but that guy isn't there no more. I don't know what happened to him, but we're not here to talk about Mike Perry. We're here to talk about these two. Miguel Biza, he had a back and forth fight with Matt Brown, but man, he's a fucking slinger if I've ever seen one. And man, this is a hard fight for Mickey, man. Mickey can win this. I'm not gonna lie, it's not like he can't, but it's like fuck, man. And here's what I said. I was actually, I think I was talking about why I wanted him to take a year off. I really wanted him to take a year off and start going to like college campuses. Well, now they can't do it because of the Rona, but college campuses and college wrestling practices. If you know anything about like the wrestling system, it's not hard. Freestyle wrestling, you can just sign up right now if you wanted to. At least I live in California and in Oakland a year ago. You could just really sign up for a freestyle wrestling program near like your nearest high school, and they'll get you in a program, and you'll be on the freestyle wrestling circuit. You can do it for free. You can just sign up. I wanted him to really do that for a year, get his ass whooped in those wrestling rooms, and really work on that, because one of Mickey's, I think, biggest flaws is he's just really weak in certain areas of his grappling game. He has really good back takes, I'll say that. And his striking has gotten better. I thought his striking looked pretty good against Perry. Again, a degraded version against Perry, but he's very weak in certain. Diego Sanchez talked about he's not strong, and like it's weird because he has a good frame for welterweight, which is interesting, but he's just not strong in certain areas, and I would say not explosive. You know, he had an explosive double leg against CM Punk and I think Mike Jackson, is that his name? But those are those guys. You know, Mike Jackson's I think is more primarily a boxer, and CM Punk is CM Punk, but he's just not explosive, man. And there's a lot of things he needs to fix in his game, and he can't do it in that fight was 2 months ago, I think, right? He can't do it that quick, and I think Miguel Biza, even though in terms of fights they're not that much off in terms of experience, I just think the kid's more talented than Mickey Gall, and I'm gonna have to go Miguel Biza. I feel bad for Mickey. I don't want him to get cut, but he can't win this fight. I'm not gonna act like he can't, but I'm gonna go Miguel Biza. I think by third round KO. I think he finishes him. Yeah. Next fight, Derek Minner versus TJ Laramie. I think that's how you say the kid's name. Derek comes in 24-11. Fights out of Nebraska, age 30, height 5'7", reaches 71. TJ is 12-3. Fights out of Ontario, Canada, I think. Yeah, he's a Canadian. Age 22, height 5'6", and a reach of 66. In terms of recent wins, TJ is coming off a win over Daniel Swim, and Derek is coming off a win over Charlie Derby. In terms of recent losses, Derek's most recent loss was to Grant Dawson, and TJ's most recent loss was to Alex Morgan in 2018. This TJ kid's really, really good, man. He has a really, really good double leg, man. In terms of his penetration step into that double leg, and just how explosive he is. He's very like small set, but he's really big up top. You know, a lot of short guys are like that. They're very big up top, really big shoulders. Really small legs though. But Derek Minner is an experienced guy though, 24-11, and he has a wrestling background. So, in terms of how this fight, how I see this fight ended up being, I think the X factor is TJ's power. He has one hell of a right hand, one hell of a cross. He just fucking flatlines guys with it. So I think that's the X factor. I don't think TJ could go for it. I think he could go for it, taking him on the ground, but. You know, he's very dominant there, but I think Derek is an experienced guy. They gave him, they're testing this kid, man. I'm high on him, but yeah, they're testing him. He's an experienced guy, so I say I'm gonna go. I like TJ. I like TJ Lamar. I'm gonna go TJ by decision. I think by decision, or because his Contender Series win was kind of weird, so. I'm gonna go by decision. This guy's tough, man. This guy's fucking tough as hell. So, but I think his biggest problem is he also goes for a lot of. He's gonna shoot. I think Derek's gonna shoot on him because he's a wrestler and he doesn't care. I don't know if TJ has a wrestling background, but Derek, I think Derek's gonna shoot. And I seen him in one of his fights that he shot so many times, and he just the guy he was fighting, I forgot the guy's name, but was sprawled like 7 times and was able to catch like an anaconda choke or like a Darce choke or something like that. So he could get sub too, but I think decision is the safe bet right here. Next fight, I love this fight. Andre Ewell versus Irwin Rivera. This is gonna be a fucking banger. Andre Ewell, 16-6, fights out of Riverside, California, age 32, height 5'8", and a reach of 75. Irwin Rivera, 10-5, fights out of Florida. I think Hard Knocks, right? Hard Knocks or Stanford or whatever they're called now. Age 31, height 5'6", and a reach of 68. In terms of recent wins, Irwin's coming off a recent win of Ali Alaquisi. I think that's how I'm saying it. I'm sorry if I butchered your name. And Andre Ewell is coming off a win over Jonathan Martinez. I don't know about that one. And in terms of recent losses, Andre Ewell is coming off a recent loss to Marlon Vera. No shame in that, but I'll talk about that later. And Irwin Rivera is coming off a recent loss over Giga Chikadze. Here's what I say about Andre Ewell. Andre Ewell has a lot of potential, right? He has really good reach. He's really good in a lot of areas. He's good at maintaining distance. But I didn't think he beat Jonathan Martinez. That's one. And I thought he really broke against Marlon Vera. He did good in the beginning, but Marlon Vera does that a lot. I wouldn't call him a slow starter, but he sets things up. He starts slow to set those things up, and he broke them. Irwin Rivera has really impressed me. Even against Giga Chikadze, he gave him a run for his money, man. And he was completely undersized in that fight, and he's a grinder, man. And I'm going Irwin Rivera. I'm on some real shit, man. I think Irwin Rivera is gonna win this fucking fight. He fucking grinds it out. He's a hard fucking worker. I think Andre Ewell is a little he has 6 losses, but I just feel like he kind of breaks a little bit, and I'm just gonna have to go Irwin Rivera on this one. I really do think Irwin Rivera is gonna take it. By decision. He's going to get some close takedowns in there, and Andre Ewell is going to give it to him, and I think he's going to break in the third, man. I just see it in him. He has to prove something to me in this fight. He has to show me something, man. I was disappointed in his last 2 fights, man, especially against Marlon Vera. I didn't pick him against Marlon Vera, but I really seen him break in that fight, and I think he's going to do it again. But next fight... Bueno Silva versus Romero Borella. Bueno Silva is 6-1, fights out of Brazil, age 29, height 5'6", and a reach of 66. Borella is 12-8, fights out of Italy, age 34, height 5'6", and reach of 69. Silva, hey man, she's coming off a win over Jillian Robertson, and that's a good win. And that was a nasty fucking armbar, by the way. Oh my god, was that a nasty armbar? And our most recent loss was to Marino Morzes, I think that's how I'm saying her name. And Borella, you know, her last win was Talia Santos in like the beginning of 2019, and is riding a 3-fight losing streak. And her most recent loss was to Courtney Casey. I think it was via armbar or some shit like that. I'm going to be going Silva. I think Silva is just, I don't know, man. Maybe this girl's ready to lose. Steve, you know what? First round armbar. First round armbar, too, especially. I'm going first round armbar. And, man, this girl, I don't know, man. She just want to lose. That's a lot of losses, bro. That's a lot of fucking losses. Next fight, Sarah Alpar. I think that's how you say her name, versus Jessica Rose Clark. Sarah comes in 9-4, fights out of Texas, age 29, and reach of 63. Jessica's 9-6, fights out of Las Vegas, age 32, and a reach of 67, so she does have the reach advantage. In terms of recent wins, Sarah's coming off a win over Shayna Young, and Jessica is coming off a win over Paige Van Zandt. This is an interesting fight. Sarah is a wrestler. She's going to be going for the takedowns. In terms of recent losses, actually, Sarah's coming off a loss to Serena Dam in 2016, so she hasn't lost in a minute. And Jessica's coming off a loss over Penny. Khamzat. So really, Jessica really has to. It's really like grappler versus striker matchup. I'd say this is what it is, and a lot. I've noticed a lot of people have been simping over Jessica Rose Clark as of late. She's not. Hey, I don't know. Did she get better looking? I ain't gonna lie. She did kind of get better. Like if I'm being honest, so she did kind of got. Yeah, I was surprised. I was like, well, is this the same girl? But yeah, striker versus wrestler in this one. Sarah's wrestling it's decent for a female. But I don't like the way she goes for single legs, man. They're very lazy. Nothing against her, man. She gets the job done. At the end of the day, man, if those takedowns work, they work. They're still fucking. You still gotta count them. But I'm just like, man, I feel like if someone just had enough grit, they could probably stop it. And I think Jessica has that grit. I love her pad holder, man. I forgot the guy's name. He was on the Joe Rogan podcast. I forgot his fucking name. Oh man, I forgot the guy's name, but really, really good. No, I don't think that's his name. But I love the pad holder, and I just think sprawl and brawl. Her Muay Thai is really, really good in terms of just her striking basics, man. For what I've seen from her, just her shadow boxing and stuff like that, and her win over Paige Van Zandt, she just looks really, really. Now it's Paige, but like she just looks really, really good, man. She's just very, very technical there, and I think she's gonna take the dub. Because, man, Sarah could take this, though. But I'm going to go Jessica Rose Clark in that one. Next fight, we got Meerschaert Bektic versus Eduardo, I think, Gregory. I think I'm saying his name right. Meerschaert comes in as 13-3, fights at Coconut Creek, Florida. Age 29, height 5'8". Does he fight at Coconut Creek? Really? I could have sworn he's a Frost Hobby guy. I think he's. I don't know if that's right. I don't know about you, Tapology. Reach 70. Let's actually talk about Eduardo. I think it's Eduardo. Is it Eduardo? I hope I'm saying this dude's name's right. Eduardo, 13-1. Fights out of Uruguay. Age 31, height 5'9", and reaches 70. So they have the same reach. In terms of recent wins for both guys, Meerschaert's coming off his most recent win was against Ricardo Lamas. And Eduardo's most recent one was against Humberto Bendani, I think that's how you say the cat's name. And Meerschaert's coming off a loss to Dan Ige, and Eduardo's coming off a loss to Ricardo Romas. Man, I think this is kind of like a give 'em to Meerschaert Bektic, man. If you watch Eduardo's last fight, man, Ricardo Romas, they were kind of like really, really good. They were, I would say, even on the feet, and I think the problem with Eduardo is he kind of stands up really tall. I think he has a Muay Thai base, and he's kind of easy to take down. If you don't have any kind of squat to your striking position just to get ready for a fucking sprawl. Like I hear a lot of strikers say they keep their hands down because of takedowns, and I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I that doesn't. It helps, but it does. You don't like. It doesn't help that much to keep your hands down. But Eduardo is really tall. I think it's more or less about your base and how strong your legs are in that base. And if you don't even have the base to begin with, if you just a simple squat. Like you remember when Kevin Lee fought Gregory Gillespie, he was damn near squatting really low base against Gregory. Like he was ready to sprawl. He was so ready to sprawl, not to get taken down. But I think Eduardo, I think he's given for the takedown, man. I really do. Obviously, he's gonna have to work on it. I know he's probably working on it, but that's Meerschaert's bread and butter, and I think he's gonna take advantage of this. I say by decision. Oh, I did not give my result for Jessica. I do that sometimes. I be forgetting. So for Jessica Rose Clark versus Sarah Alpar, I say by decision. I hope I said that. And if I didn't, then you're welcome. And if I did, I'm just retarded. So, but for Meerschaert Bektic versus Eduardo, I see second round rear naked choke submission. So second round submission. So yeah, that's for Meerschaert Bektic. Next fight, Randy Costa versus Journey Newsman. Let's go up. Let's go up. All right, yeah, Randy Costa comes in 5-1. Fights out of Massachusetts, age 26, height 5'9", and a reach of 73. Journey Newsman, 9-2, fights out of Portland, Oregon, age 31, height 5'5", a reach of 67. Short guy though, shorty, if I've ever seen one. In terms of recent wins, Randy Costa's coming off a win over Boston Salmon, and Journey Newsman's coming off a win over Suslan Apnakov. I think that's how you say his name. In terms of losses, Journey Newsman's lost to Ricardo Ramos, another guy. Ricardo Ramos is beat, and Randy Costa's coming off a loss against the goddamn weight cut bully, Brandon Davis. I like this fucking fight for Journey Newsman. I think Randy Costa is really fucking wild and creative in there. He throws a lot of kicks, but he throw a lot of lead power shots that keeps him open. He'll throw like a lead uppercut like that. Like he'll go like this. You see how like exposed my, well, let me do it like that, right? See how exposed my chin is? He's really exposed, but he's like, he throws it, but it's like, his presence, it's so weird. I see a lot of guys do that, or a lot of people do that in MMA where they just go so offensive, and that offensive pressure, it like just breaks people. Like, you ever heard of the term like like the best version of defense is great offense, or something along those lines? And it's like sometimes it works like that. Like you don't even need defensive skills. You just, if you just overwhelm somebody, they'll just break. And that's what he's been doing in a lot of his fights. And I think the only guy he couldn't do it to was Brandon Davis, and he was able to stick, fucking tough, and he ended up breaking him. Journey Newsman is a different guy, and I think he'll knock this fool out if he tries to do that shit with a beautiful straight right counter. He's a shorty. He is a fucking shorty. So, it's almost like kind of like a T Wood thing, really. It's kind of funny for this show, but I think I'm gonna go Journeyman Newson. Do I say? Second round KO. I think Randy Costa needs to learn a lesson. He might have learned a lesson from Brandon Davis, but I like the way he fights is no respect at all. By the way, like it's so go watch a lot of his amateur fights, man. It's so like the way he just overwhelms these guys with that kind of crazy like striking pressure, like it's crazy. He's a tough kid, man. I gotta give him his credit. Next fight, man. This one, I got a special place for this one. Khamzat Chimaev versus Gerald Misad. Chimaev comes in 8-1, fights out of Sweden, age 26, height 6'2", and a reach of 75. Gerald Misad 31-13, fights out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, age 32, height 6'1", and reach of 77. In terms of recent wins, Chimaev's coming off a recent win of Reese McKee, and Gerald's coming off a win over Darren win. In terms of losses, Chimaev has never lost, and Gerald Misad's coming off, I think, a KO loss to Ian Heinisch. I was going to go all the way with Chimaev, Chimaev, I'm sorry. But just hearing the disrespect from Dana saying that he's going to double book this guy just kind of pisses me off, low-key, and it's just, Gerald Misad's no fucking joke. Damn near has over like 40 fights, right? So he's not somebody's fucking like cupcake, right? He's not somebody you want to walk over, and he's a guy that is willing to compete at light heavyweight. This guy's a fucking bona fide welterweight, all right? Look at his body, nothing against him, but he's a fucking welterweight, and he should stay there. It's borderline disrespectful what I've seen about Gerald Misad. I was really gonna go Chimaev, but it's just to say this, to basically say, oh, we're gonna have you beat Gerald, and then you can fight Damian Maia. What? Like, Darren Wynn is a really good fucking. I picked Darren Wynn to beat Gerald Misad, and you can look at my older video. I do not like Gerald Misad. Man, he fucking pissed me off when he beat Darren Wynn. I was so heartbroken for Darren, and I was calling him mini DC next, aka champ. Hot prospect, aka coming back, because I'm such a big AKA fan, right? So it's like, to see Darren take that L kind of hurt a little bit, but the disrespect, like, it's insane. Like, Gerald Misad, you just a bum now, huh? After losing Ian Heinisch, like, wow, okay. And he's fought like high level competition, and I think Gerald Misad said it best. Like, this guy's never really been through real adversity. He's really, really good. Don't get me wrong. I don't get it twisted. The wrestling and the people he trains with in Sweden, Gustafsson, Lir Latifi, Jimmy Manuel. I assume Jimmy Manuel gives him rounds. I know Jimmy's retired, but so here's the thing. He's talented, man. I know he's not just a wrestler. He got hands. I know he got hands. You're training with those guys, and those guys give you boxing rounds and stuff like that, or striking rounds, and your main sparring partner sometimes is Alexander Gustafsson. He has to have some type of credentials there. But Gerald Meerschaert is going to give you adversity, bro. And if you've never really been through real adversity in the octagon, and somebody gives it to you, you really see what someone's made of. It's really that term that pressure makes diamonds, and we're gonna see. This is his fucking test. This isn't like, oh, this is his fucking test. If he's like ready to even be in a conversation of next Khabib and stuff, like if he destroys Gerald Meerschaert, all right, then I'll give him his respect. But the way he dismantled Darren Wynn, and Darren Wynn's a fucking good wrestler, man. Like, I don't know, man. It just comes off really disrespectful that you know, and let's be honest, man. He Reese McKee's a lightweight. You know, the kid he just destroyed. So I don't know, man. I'm gonna go. Here's how I see Chimaev should win, or should really look at this fight in terms of if you want to win. He got to look at keeping this fight standing. And Gerald Meerschaert is no joke. Like he spars with Tyron Woodley. He's Ben Askren's main grappling partner sometimes. So it's like, this is not going to be an easy fight for Chimaev. I am going Gerald Meerschaert by third round submission. Chimaev is a fuck. The arrogance that comes out of this motherfucker. Like, oh my God, the karma will be so sweet, bro. The karma will be so sweet. I wonder if he still gets that fucking Damian Maia fight after he fucking loses. I know everyone's going to call me a retard for that one. I got some hate on Twitter for it, but I'm going Gerald Meerschaert. You can't disrespect someone. Next fight, we got Kevin Holland versus Darren Stewart. Kevin Holland comes in 18-5. Fights out of Texas, age 27. Height 6'3", tall kid, and a reach of 81. Darren Stewart, 12-5. Fights out of East London, England, and age 29. Height 6 foot, reach of 74. In terms of recent wins, Kevin Holland's coming off a win over Joaquin Buckley, and Darren Stewart is coming off a submission win over Maki Pitalo. In terms of losses, Kevin Holland has a loss to Brendan Allen, and Darren Stewart has a loss to Bart Fabitsky. I think that's how you say the cat's name. Both of these guys are good, man, and they're both fucking violent motherfuckers, man. I love this fucking fight. Darren Stewart, one thing I like about him a lot, and is just his like, I was watching this really good interview with him, and he talks about how he kind of persevered through some adversity, in his life, in just in MMA, in just terms of not having the grappling base and just really learning how to have good takedown defense. He talks about it a lot in his Darren Wynn fight. I kind of thought Darren Wynn won that fight, but it is what it is. But I will say one thing: it was close though, and he stuffed some takedowns, and he was so he valiant to get back up. But to be honest, after that, again in his Fabitsky fight, he got controlled. And Fabitsky was all bloodied up, and he just kept it on him. So, but he had a really good bounce back against Maki Pitalo. He was able to submit him. So I was surprised. He showed something out the bag I didn't think he had. But usually I would compare him to like a brawling Muay Thai fighter. I'd say that in terms of his style, the way his clinch game is so nasty, man. And he'll swing. He's a swinger, man. He'll swing from the goddamn fences. Kevin Holland is another guy that's a lot different and very creative. Does a lot of different shit to people. He'll just throw. He won't even look at you and throw a fucking sidekick at you, your fucking belly or whatever. That's how fucking crazy that cat is. And he'll fucking like I remember when he was fighting Joaquin, but was it Joaquin or it might have been someone else? Where he was just doing these goddamn karate chops. It's just a lot of crazy shit. But really, man, his straight right is a goddamn bazooka, bro. And I think all that other shit he does, the talking, is all to mask the fact that he's coming for you, man. And his pressure. And I think it's his distance management that really fucks with guys. Is the way, he has that kind of sideways stance, and he's able to just be really close to you and be really far away from you at the same time. And it didn't really work against Brendan Allen, though. Brendan Allen was able to use a lot of pressure on him. And then I don't know why it affected him to the point where he went for a takedown and then Brendan ended up submitting him. But yeah, that's the thing. It's like Darren's just gonna have to apply a lot of pressure on Kevin Holland to really win this fight. But sometimes, but Joaquin Buckley tried the same thing and got fucking smoked. So you're gonna have to add some wrestling, I think, really, to like give him different looks. Like you're not just having a striking match with this cat, because man, this guy has knocked out some really good people in Jeff O'Neal. And I know I'm not the biggest fan of Jeff O'Neal, but I know a lot of people that call him the dark horse, future champ. Like I had this one cat tell me that he really believes that Jeff O'Neal would murder Vicente Luque, and I'm just like, nah, I'm not with that one, buddy. But yeah, he beat that cat and he destroyed him. He made him a simp. So like, Kevin Holland, dude, he had a really close fight with Thiago Santos. And he's like, what? Thiago's like the number 2 light heavyweight in the world right now. So it's like, shit, man, that kid's good. And he was doing so many crazy shit to Thiago Santos. He was like going for flying omoplatas and shit like that. The kid has no care in the fucking world. He just doesn't give a fuck. So if I'm really looking at this fight, I think Darren Stewart's like his what's it called? His growth in his grappling is very admirable, but I don't think it's enough. It's not at the level of Brendan Allen. I don't think he's going to give him those looks so he can change the fucking pacing of the fight. I think it's really going to be primarily in the stand-up. I think really where it can really differ is in the clinch. I don't know if Darren has the advantage in the clinch, but he has some nasty shit. But Kevin Holland showed some stuff in the clinch too. So it's like, it's a hard fight for really to pick. But in terms of experience, you got to go Kevin Holland. In terms of just potential, man, the kid's potential is out of... Like it's crazy, but like the only problem is like you're like, I don't know about this kid. He fucking plays too much. So that's where like a lot of people are like, man, I don't know. But I think after that Joaquin Buckley fight, I think I'm a little sold. I think I'm sold, and I think Kevin Holland gets this done. Decision. I think he gets it done by decision. He's had a few like stoppages, right? Like he had 2 stoppages, so I think he gets a decision in his next fight, or this fight. So, but next fight coming up, Johnny Walker versus Ryan Spann. Like, dude, this card is out of control stacked. Johnny Walker comes in 17-5, number light heavyweight in the world. Has been fighting out of England lately, but it's kind of crazy. I don't know what camp he aligns himself with now, but it is what it is. Age 28, height of 6'6". Yo, that's a fucking basketball player right there. Reached 82. Ryan Spann, 18-5, the number 12 light heavyweight in the world. Fights out of Texas. Age 29, height of 6'5". He's another tall dude. Oh my god, I didn't even know Ryan Spann was that tall. Reached 81. In terms of recent wins, Johnny Walker's most recent win was against Meerschaert. Ryan Spann's coming off a win over Sam Alvey. In terms of recent losses, Johnny Walker's most recent loss was to Nikita Krylov, and Spann is Carl Robertson. That was in like the Contender Series. That was like a while ago. Here's the thing about this fucking fight, and what I like about it. I think we had a lot of questions answered about Walker in the Corey Anderson fight and then Nikita Krylov fight. I wonder who I picked for I might have picked Walker, but I had picked Corey Anderson to beat him, but the same way Nikita Krylov beat him. So I thought he was gonna grind on him, and he was gonna negate all that fucking flippy shit and all that knee shit, and just fucking put that grind on him. But he didn't. He knocked him out, and then Nikita Krylov basically just extended that for me. So I found out what I need to find out about him. He's very susceptible to getting hit. He's not susceptible to getting hit, but he's very wild, right? But he doesn't have really... I don't know what to say. I don't know how to describe what I'm thinking, but what I learned is that his striking is catching people. It's not as good as I thought it was, right? I thought he was really a fucking legitimate force to be dealt with, but he's really just more of a... He's really wild, and he fucking catches guys. He catches guys. I really do think so. And, it just took enough good technique from Corey Anderson to just figure that out and hit him with 2 hooks and an overhand and get him out of there. And then Nikita Krylov didn't get really fazed by all that crazy shit he was doing. and really believed in his takedowns and, put that cage wrestling on him. So Johnny Walker's dangerous in the first round. But here's another thing. I'm not a big fan of Ryan Spann. So here's my thing with Ryan Spann. He's another guy that kind of like explodes a little bit, but he explodes in a different way, more in like the grappling sense. He's the kind of guy that would rather just get you in a guillotine and get the fuck out of there. He's not a guy that really wants to put volume on you. He's not a guy that wants to put a performance on you. He doesn't have a lot of combos, doesn't have a lot of combinations. I really saw that in Sam Alvey fight, even in the Antonio Nogueira fight. He was getting caught with straight rights. He's very susceptible to straight rights, I've noticed. So that's the thing about this fight. So they both have their problems, but here's the thing. Ryan Spann is very slow in that first round. Well, he's very fast and slow at the same time. I don't know if you know what I'm saying. So he'll explode to go for something, but he's very susceptible to getting hit, especially with the right hand. Like, I don't know why. Like, Sam Alvey was really connecting on him, I remember. And Sam almost got him low-key in that third round. But here's the thing with Walker. I think Walker has enough explosion to KO Ryan Spann. I don't think... Ryan Spann has a really good win over Devin Clark, though. I'll give him that. So I got to give him that respect. But I think Johnny Walker gets the W here via KO. Man, it's a hard fight, man. Spann has to wrestle. He has to. Or it hopes clinch. He did have some good clinch work against Sam Alvey, and he almost submitted Sam Alvey in one of those clinch situations. So really, he has to go for that, really, and just hope that Walker slows down. So like Spann can win this fight. Don't get it twisted. But I'm not a fan of the way he just eats right hands for fucking free for lunch, basically. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna have to be going. I'm gonna be going Johnny Walker. Oh, did I get my decision for Kevin Holland? I think no, I did. I'm gonna be going Walker by. I'm gonna go first round KO. I'm gonna go by that. Next fight, Mackenzie Dern versus Randa Markos. Mackenzie Dern, 8-1, number 15 strawweight in the world. Fights out of Los Angeles, age 27, height 5'4", reached to 63. Randa Markos, 10-8, fights out of Montreal, Quebec, Canada, age 35, height 5'4", reached to 63. In terms of recent wins for both these girls, Mackenzie Dern is coming off a win over Hannah Cyphers. Randa Markos' most recent win was against Ashley Yoder. They both have lost. In terms of recent losses, it's both been to Amanda Ribas. Here's what I gotta say. Let me say some nice things before I say some bad things about Randa Markos. I will forever be grateful for what she did to Carla Esparza, bro. That was so... Oh, my... I was crying when that happened. Bro, go watch some of those tough highlights. That fucking... Dude, Carla Esparza was just being such a bitch to this girl, man. And just disrespecting this girl. And Randa Markos finally came out there and beat her. And she has some good wins, though, on her, low-key. So, I like Randa Markos a lot. And I'll forever be grateful for that. Like... There's, like, certain people I'm not fans of, but I'll always be grateful for, like, silencing certain people. Like, Max Holloway. I'm not the biggest Max Holloway fan, but I'll forever be grateful for what he did to Brian Ortega. Like, forever. So, but if I was to have to go with somebody, man, this is fucking kind of hard to pick. Randa Markos is, like, she's a clinch girl, and she likes to get in the clinch, and she likes to take girls down. Mackenzie Dern is really good on the ground. So it doesn't work. I think she's really going to have to kind of box with her a little bit. And I think that's how she wins this fight. So, and Mackenzie's really going to have to go for the takedown. But I don't think if Randa is smart and believes in that jab and kind of plays it right and kind of clinches up with her, but I don't know if she wants to get too close. So, it's kind of a hard fight to pick. And Randa Markos is damn near almost has a 500. Well, she does have a fucking 500 record. So, it's like, it's just one of those things. It's like, is Randa Markos is on the downslide and Mackenzie's on the upside? I don't think Mackenzie's that. She has really good jiu-jitsu, but that's about it, But she comes forward though, and she's very aggressive. So, if I was to say, I'm gonna have to go Mackenzie Dern by decision. by decision. She could get a submission, but I think Yashioda's not Yashioda. Randa Markos was good enough not to get submitted. But next fight, Donald Cerrone versus Niko Price. Man, this fight fucking rocks, man. Cerrone comes in 36-15, the number 14 lightweight in the world, but this fight takes place at welterweight. Fights out at the BMF Ranch, age 37, height 61, and reach to 73. Niko Price, 14-4, fights out of Florida, age 30, height. I said height, yeah, height 6 foot, reach to 76. In terms of recent win for these guys, man, Cerrone's most recent one was against Ali Quinta. Niko Price's most recent one was against James Vick. In terms of recent losses, Cerrone, they both lost on the same day, also on the same card. Cerrone's coming off a loss to Anthony Pettis. I thought that could have gone either way. It was really close. I didn't think it was a robbery, but it was pretty close. I thought they probably should have just... Honestly, I feel like they should have gave it to Cerrone, and then you could make like a trilogy between those two, but it is what it is. Like 5 rounds, the main event. And then Niko Price's most recent losses of Vicente Luque. I was really impressed with Niko. I think I picked Niko Price to win that fight, so that's why I probably was impressed. But here's the thing: he was coming off a loss to Vicente, so it was a rematch, And usually you see a lot in the rematches. The first guy always wins, and I think the best thing about it for the other guy, where they can find some solace, is that they did so much better than they did the first time. Like Kevin Lee, I like Quinta. Kevin Lee did so much better in the second fight than he did in the first. Same thing with Niko Price. He did so much better in this in the second fight. I think the judges had him up 2 rounds in that fight. So, and in the first fight, he was backing up a lot. He was almost kind of getting scared by Vicente Luque's power, and he got hit with a really good shot, got dropped, and then got fucking choked up. I think Darce choke. So this fight pains my heart a lot. I love Cerrone, man. I've been on the train for a minute. I haven't picked against him in his last at least 6 fights. He's on a 4-fight losing streak, and it would kill me if I seen him on a number 5. I'd be so happy if he get a win, but at the same time, I like Niko too. This is why it hurts so much. But Niko's hitting his prime. Cerrone, it's these things about these guys later in their career where. I don't know, man. It sucks seeing him go out like that against Conor, bro. It fucking hurt. It hurt like crazy seeing him go out like that. And I really, really, I don't know. He was the number 4 guy in the world. Like a year ago, right? Like he was in the top 5. So that's the thing about Cerrone, man. He was in the top 5 in the beginning of this year. Man, things fucking change. But I just think Niko is just so crazy and wild. He's gonna have to go really crazy in that first round, and I think he's in Cerrone again. This is a slow starter, but usually these, Cerrone will always have one of those performances to let people know he's still back. I remember he did that against Alex Hernandez. That was the big one, right? Where he put that boy in his fucking place. But the thing is with that, it's like, how many of those do you got left in you? And then, like, you work your way up, and then you get to a title shot, or you get in the top 5, and then it fucking kills you at the end. It pains me, man. It really pains me to do this, but I'm picking Niko Price by first round KO. I'd be so fucking happy if Cerrone got the W, but I just can't keep picking him if he's gonna keep losing, And I hate picking against my boys, man, and it fucking pains my heart because it makes me feel like a little fickle and fake, right? But that Conor one, I picked him for Conor, man. All right, like that, and I knew better, but I was like, you know what? I'd fuck Conor right now. So it's like I want Cerrone to win, but it's not about what you want, bro. It's about what's gonna happen, and I think Niko's gonna beat him. But it's like, it's also, you also got to think about, like, does Cerrone really want to lose in his 5th fight? Is he not going to come out here more motivated to come out and win and get a dub? But then can you say, like, he kind of was super motivated for Pettis, that's why he did so well, you know? And how much does he have left in that gas? How much do you have not you, but Cerrone have left to go for another one? You know, these are questions that you got to ask yourself. Usually it's never like, it's not that, you know, when people say you're out of your prime, usually you have to really look at physical things to say, oh, he's out of his prime. He's not as jacked or he's not as athletic as he used to be. But sometimes a lot of these guys, it's that will. It's that heart. You know, they used to have that urgency to get back up, that urgency to weather the storm, you know? And sometimes you just kind of lose it. You know, you lose it fight by fight. I don't know why, but it's just like that. And I think Cerrone's losing that. And it's not like he's getting hurt, but it's not like he's getting knocked out flush. He gets hurt, and he's so used to getting, like, just protecting himself, and, like, you know, it's like the JDS thing. Like, JDS, I didn't think he got that hurt against Curtis, but it was just like he got hit with a good shot, and he was just like, you know what, I'm out of here. I'm just gonna go like this, you know. And I see that as Cerrone, so I'm gonna be going Niko Price, and it's gonna fucking suck if Niko wins. I like Niko, but it's gonna hurt my heart. It's gonna hurt my heart. But next fight, the main fucking event. This fucking show is gonna be so long, bro. But Colby Covington versus Tyron Woodley. I have a breakdown on this. Usually I try to keep these short, so I'm not gonna talk about the stats and all that shit. But there's certain things I didn't say in that breakdown that I'd like to bring up here. What did I? You know, in the breakdown, it was an older video. I love that video. I went really hard on that video, so go check that out, though. I think I did really good on that. But there's certain things that I didn't bring up in that video that I want to bring up here. I want to bring up, like, energy, right, and karma. I know this might sound really stupid, but at first, I was kind of scared. I was almost going to pick Woodley. I was so close to picking Woodley because Woodley was scaring the fuck out of me. And I'm a Colby fan. I've been a Colby fan since the Brian Barberena fight. I think that was Michelle Watterson versus Paige Van Sant in Sacramento, I think. I almost went to that. But, you know, here's the thing with Colby and Woodley. Woodley, if you look at a lot of his interviews, there's kind of tells that you could tell that he might end up losing. You know, Gilbert Burns, he brought up, oh, that guy, he lost to a guy like Dan Hooker. You know, you think I'm going to lose to that? And then he ends up fucking getting destroyed, right? And then even before that, he's talking shit about Leon. I'm not going to fight you. You're not even fucking worth it. Or I remember on the Brendan Schaub little thing, what did he say? He said, I could beat Khabib. like he said a lot of crazy shit before that, and it just added up. He got annoying after he lost the belt. I don't know what's wrong with him. But I remember for the Darren Till build-up, I think he learned a lot from that Wonder Boy. No, it was that Damian Maia fight, and just the response he got. I think he learned a lot, and he just shut his mouth. He was like telling Ariel, like, I'm not even going to talk about anything. I'm just worried about winning that belt, or just worried about defending that belt. I think that's what he said. And he had a really good energy coming into that, and he fucking put a performance on Darren Till and broke my heart. And that's usually where Tyron's at his best. And then Tyron was talking crazy to Usman, and then you seen it led to Usman winning. Obviously that's like iffy, right? You know, you don't ever really want to base that off anything, but I kind of do sometimes. You know, like is Woodley is getting ready for an instant karma video? And for the whole build up for this fight, he was acting super humble, super carefree, like he didn't have no pressure on him, you know. And I think that's the problem. Like, you know, Woodley's not like, I think he does really bad with pressure in the octagon and out the octagon. I think that's really what he is. And that's why I was like, man, this guy's really carefree. He's not talking crazy. I think he might knock Colby out. I was really scared, and like Colby has all the pressure on him. Everyone's expecting him to win. It's just really not a win-win for Colby. You're not gonna look at Colby any different if he beats Tyron. Like, honestly, like it's like, you know, he's still Colby, right? He's gonna basically do what he did to like Robbie Lawler or some shit like that, you know? Like, he doesn't really gain a lot for beating a guy that lost to fucking Gilbert Burns. You know, Gilbert Burns got a lot from that Woodley victory. Usman got a lot. Like it's like when RDA was getting passed around at welterweight like a thought. Like he was getting passed around. It went from Colby to Usman. He did beat Kevin Lee. I always give him that. And then he got passed around to Leon Edwards and Michael Chiesa. It's like, can we even give do we look at Chiesa any different now? We should though. We should. But here's the thing. And then Woodley started really scaring me when he started posting those clips of David Goggins on his Instagram. I listen to a lot of David Goggins. I love that guy. When I get, when I wake up in the morning and I really want to get motivated, I listen to him to go for like a run or just a little workout. He's just, he gets you fucking amped. And he's been listening to him. And I was like, fuck, man, this is not looking good for Colby. But then he committed one cardinal sin. The biggest sin of them all, and that was adding Judas in one of his videos, and he revealed that he was training with Jorge Masvidal, like a goddamn fucking. That was so dirty to me the way they did that video. Oh, what did you think about the rumors and this and that? Well, the rumors are true, and then Woodley's in the background. I'll still beat your ass though, and it's like it's such like garbage from those two, man, and it's just the fact that. And Mike Brown's in the comments, go get it. It's so garbage from it. Like, come on, man. America, have some goddamn class. I get it. Colby started all this shit. But it just feels like, and Colby is no selling it. So, Woodley says he does it again. He does some stupid shit, adding Masvidal in there, hyping it up. Right, and then he goes in the aerial show and says, "Oh, we need, the UFC's not doing a good job. They need to add more awareness to Black Lives Matter. I'm not happy with that. I like it when the NBA puts Black Lives Matter on the court." And he's back to talking about the race shit, fucking race baiting ass cone, right? And it's a bunch of crap coming up from Woodley. So I'm like, you know what? I think and Colby hasn't said shit about this. Like, he's been quiet. So I'm like, oh, we're going to see a killer. But, so I'm thinking now it's up for grabs. Like, whoever, anyone can win this, right? So, when I really, really look at this right now, I think, like, I think Colby can take it now. I think I'm full board on Colby. I'm no worries in the world. I'm not worried about Woodley. But here's the one thing that worries me. I watched the RDA fight with Colby again, and RDA wins the 4th round, right? So Colby's like, I got to get this 5th round. And he got it. But he starts that 5th round by rushing RDA, and RDA hits him with like a Superman punch, right? Go watch the Woodley Darren Till fight. What did he, the first round, they basically were clinching each other. And then the second, Darren Till tried to really pressure Woodley, tried to kind of like rush it, and he got caught with that fucking bazooka that Woodley got. No matter what, you got to give him credit. He has fucking power, right? So he caught him there, and like Colby's a little susceptible to getting hit. So that's the one thing that scares me still. Even though that, Woodley kind of fucking stepped in his own mouth, but it's just hard to go Woodley after losing like that twice, So I don't know, I'm going Colby 4th round TKO. I think he breaks him. Here's what I'll say. I will say one thing. Woodley is working so fucking hard. I can't deny him that. He is working. He just looks like it. Now, but he was working so fucking hard for Gilbert Burns, too, so I don't know. Like, he was like, you remember he went to Thailand and was living in, like, this little shady apartment, right? Or he was, like, in this shady little gym in Area Hawaii. He was like, man, I'm living in the terrible conditions, man. I'm back. I'm the old Tyron, man. I'm going to kill somebody, man. And, and then he performed like that against Gilbert. So, a lot of this is talk, right? A lot of it's cap, right? So we'll see what Woodley's are really about when he gets to the fight. But really, if I see this fight going any other way, I think Colby takes it. I think Colby can take this fight. And Masvidal is such I lost a lot of respect. I've been losing respect for him, but I think Masvidal is really scared to fight Colby. I think he knows that he's probably gonna beat him. So it is what it is. I'm gonna give a toast to my watermelon for Woodley's career. I'm on my coon shit right now. Woodley had a good run, bro. No disrespect. If you lose or win this fight, I just don't want to see you win because, like, why? he's still a guy that lost to Gilbert. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no disrespect to Gilbert, but it's like seeing you in title talks right now, and you're fucking 38, dude. Like, you know, I just don't want to see you there. And if you lose or you win, you know, no matter what, here's what I'll say. And Woodley gets a lot of hate, and it's reasonable, but I kind of feel bad for him sometimes. And if you lose, you know, hey, you 2 years ago we were calling you the second greatest, or low key the greatest welterweight champion. I heard people call you that, and you know, you won the title really late in your career, man. Like, that's something to be like. That's admirable. You won it at 34, 35. Like, not a lot of people can say they did that, you know, and you kept it through your, later times when you're supposed to be past your prime at 36, 37. And so it's like, you know, at the end of the day, here's what I gotta say. I'm going Colby, but Woodley, if you lose or you win, you know, you keep your head up. You keep your head up. And I feel bad for him sometimes because I see a lot of criticism he gets. But he deserves it. But it's just like, you know, it is what it is. But this is gonna be a long ass video. I already know. I've been rambling on for too long. But eBay predictions is out. See y'all. I love y'all. Hope you guys enjoy this.